With that being said, I would love to bet on the Seattle Seahawks +9 this week, especially after a video of Trey Lance emerge at a gentleman's club, making it rain
Strip
on a
club.
bunch. I know. Well, I like to call it gentleman club. It's way more classy.
Well, I like to explain the obvious just in case people don't know. So
Okay.
strip club.
Strip club with women that get naked. And yeah, so that's what Trey Lance was doing. Now, no one really knows if this video was before the season, after last week, but most people are saying after the loss to the Bears. And it goes to show maybe this guy is just not. I mean, look, he might not be ready to be a starting quarterback. The guy only started, like 9 or 11 college football games. He's looked like absolute horseshit.
Well, I wouldn't say looks. He looks singular. I don't know how to say that word. You said looked like, which it did look like, but I want to add that it's been one game. But continue.
It's been well, and he also played last year too. I think he started 2 games last year. Also provided nothing when Jimmy G was hurt. And now in general, the guy just doesn't look good, and Jimmy G's lingering on the bench. I mean, a lot of people thought the Seahawks were going to get Jimmy G, and it didn't happen because I think the 49ers, deep down in the bottom of their soul, know that Trey Lance might not be the quarterback by the end of the year.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's going to be, but I want to, before we get to all that, I want to talk about this strip club incident because 2 things. One, he played like absolute shit against the Bears. The Bears, according to a lot of people, had a 5 over-under on the year, 5 wins. Were projected with the Texans and I think the Jets as the worst record in all of football.
That's not good.
And they lost to the Bears in this slushy, wet, whatever you want to call it, game. And I just think at the end of the day, he lost to Justin Fields, who's also not ready. And it'd be really, I don't know. That was really a good opportunity. Sorry, there's a lot of smashing in your background. If you don't mind to mute and just for a second. There's a big opportunity for Trey Lance in week 1 to beat somebody like Justin Fields and end up winning a game against somebody that's a team that's their talent on the 49ers is way better than talent on the Bears, and you're supposed to be better than Justin Fields, or at least at the same level. And to like choke out a game like that, it's pretty embarrassing to me. And I think that's what the problem was. And then you see him at a strip club. And I heard Colin Cowherd say this, which I thought was interesting. Colin Cowherd was talking about how like he is the starting quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers. Like Colin Cowherd was like, yeah, I lived in Las Vegas in my 20s, and like I used to like go out and I might be seen somewhere, but I'm nobody. But as the starting quarterback of an NFL team at like 20 something years old, that's a bad look after being 0-1 and losing to the Bears, and you play the Seahawks next week. Like, people see you. That's not a good look.
Right. And once again, we don't know if no one's really has a timestamp on the video. And it was the weirdest looking strip club, by the way, I've ever seen. Like, it looked like an apartment and vendors, like strippers. I don't really know what was going on there. Not that it matters, but you're right. That's the point. You're a starting quarterback. You got to have the optics. And this is the second quarterback in a row that's done this. Jimmy G dating a porn star. Also, optics. And, he's a young guy, and sometimes they don't get optics.
Once again, completely different situation. Jimmy G I know he's a backup, but he's a backup who had won a Super Bowl, and he was playing in the NFL, and we know he's a good quarterback. We're not talking about a 21-year-old who, if he's as bad as he was for his first 5-6 starts, he will not get a second contract. Like, maybe as a backup one day, but he'll be like not a quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
In 2-3 years. So like it's a completely different situation, and like you got to show some maturity. If they're letting Jimmy G sit on the bench to give you the keys to the car, you gotta act a little more normal. But I love to see it because 1, I think they screwed over Jimmy G. 2, I love to see it because they're about to play the Seahawks, and playing the Seahawks, I feel like this is a prime opportunity for the Seahawks to go 2-0.